I saw this comment on YouTube the other day and I wanted to read it for you guys. Here it goes. I love how Spook and Jukes talks about what is or isn't toxic, so he gets to do whatever he wants. I got in a game with him and all he did was open chests for a challenge, didn't do a single gen and let everyone die, and was super casual about it. But because his opinion of the game is you can do whatever you want, he gets to be toxic and suffer nothing from it. I'll be honest, I read that comment and I just went, first off, let me set the record straight. I don't think I've ever done a challenge like this and then went out of my way to just let everyone else die or not do any gens. I've definitely done a challenge like this, and the first thing that I do is go to every chest I can find, and I prioritize that first because I'm trying to get my challenge done. But once the challenge is done, I go back to playing the game and I'll get saves or do gens. If this has happened where I've opened chests and then just completely like hid in a corner or something, I would love to see that match because I don't think it actually happened. But anyways, reading this comment did make me want to discuss the whole bad teammates topic and how I think there is a difference between blatantly bad teammates who do things to sabotage the entire match and players who are doing other objectives or challenges. Believe me, I know how it feels to run a killer for 2 to 3 minutes and you get downed and you see that there's still 4 or 5 gens up and you're thinking to yourself, well, that was kind of a waste. I get it. It is a bit of a bummer and it's understandably frustrating. However, I really don't believe it's necessary to put the full blame on those teammates and call them useless or toxic or terrible or shitty or whatever. Because in reality, there are other things to do in this game aside from just playing as optimally as you possibly can. It's important to remind ourselves that this game is not designed to be a competitive game. That doesn't mean you can't be a competitive person or play competitively or sweaty, but I don't think you should be mad at other people for wanting to do the side objectives. Especially when behavior regularly reminds us that these side objectives exists with the tome challenges. Unlock 8 chests, sabotage 10 hooks, cleanse 15 totems. Obviously the most effective way to complete these challenges is to see how much of it you can get done in a single match. So looking for all the chests, looking for all the totems, going around with Saboteur and saboing as many hooks as you can. You also have safe unhook challenges, which causes players to, make sure that they're around a down survivor and kind of wait for them to get hooked and want to be the first one to unhook them so that they can get the point for their challenge. So they won't really be on gens, they'll be waiting near the person, waiting for them to get hooked, waiting for the killer to go away, and then unhooking them. There's even challenges to escape through the hatch, which promotes you to play basically as selfishly as possible, because the most efficient way to do this is to bring a key, bring left behind, and just kind of wait for everybody to die, wait for the killer to close the hatch, and then you just find it and open it, and there you go, challenge done, easy peasy. And aside from challenges, there's just other fun ways to play Survivor that people enjoy, like head-on builds, flashbang builds, going for flashlight saves, going for sabo plays, using stealth builds, lucky break and bite the bullet builds. And a lot of the time, these players get scolded because
you're not doing generators.
Listen, I think it's pretty clear at this point that the community has sort of collectively agreed that Dead by Daylight is in a pretty stale place right now. It's kind of boring, it's sort of the same thing over and over again, especially when you're just doing gens, getting out, doing gens, getting out, doing gens, getting out. Because as killer, it's not really the same every match, because you can play different killers with different powers and things like that, use different perks that complement their powers. Killer is, I feel like, a bit more diverse, whereas Survivor can get pretty boring, where you're just sitting on a generator, it's done. Maybe the killer finds you, you get a chase, that's fun, but other than that, you're just kind of on gens till they get done and you're out. It's just, there's less ways to spice it up unless you want to do side objectives or do fun meme builds or, like I said, stuff like that. Flashlight builds, sabo builds. And I think condemning playstyles like that is overall just bad for the health of the game, because if all survivors all the time just did gens as fast as possible and got out, then that in turn is just going to make killers bring all the gen defense in the world, camp and tunnel as much as possible, because they have to try to get downs and kills as fast as the gens are going. If gens are going a bit slower and survivors are doing, more silly stuff or doing other objectives, killers have more time to get downs and stuff, so then maybe they'll feel more relaxed, they'll bring more variety in their builds, they'll go for more chases. Because me personally, that's when I like to camp and tunnel the most, is when gens start flying. I'm like, all right, time to sweat my ass off. If gens are going really slow in the beginning, most of the time, 95% of the time, I'm not going to camper tunnel because I'm like, I don't have to, because it's already a chill match. When I think of bad teammates, what comes to my mind is people who disconnect right away or give up on hook right away, because that's been happening a lot lately. First down, people will give up on hook. First down, people will DC, and then other teammates will be like, well, what's the point? And then they'll DC. And the people who actually want to play the game are just kind of left there like, well, I guess I'll just do my best and hope the killer is friendly or ends the match quick so I can go to the next one. Now, I'm not saying you should never disconnect or give up. I understand it happens. I understand you feel frustrated. I've done it before. I feel like we've all been there where we just like, okay, we've had many matches back to back that aren't good. I just want to go to the next one. Maybe I've gone against 5 legions in a row or 5 blights in a row, and I'm just like, oh, I got another one. I want to go next. Like, it happens. I understand. But what I'm saying is, like, you know, when you do give up, it's infinitely more devastating to your team than people who are doing side objectives and other things, because people who are, you know, opening chests or doing totems or saboing hooks, stuff like that, they're still in the match. They're still a distraction for the killer. They're still, you know, something the killer has to worry about and focus time on. When you give up or disconnect, it's like you're out of sight, out of mind for the killer. As soon as it's a 1v3 or a 1v2, like, the killer doesn't even have to focus time on those survivors. So, like, the survivors who are left in the match are completely just screwed, basically. And then obviously every once in a while you'll have teammates who are just blatantly sandbagging you, throwing pallets in front of you so you'll get downed, or chasing you around, teabagging you. They'll like spam unhook you but won't actually save you. You have teammates like that, which are obviously bad teammates because they're just going around trying to make sure that you don't have fun or that you're gonna go down or whatever. So I guess my whole point with this video is that I don't think that we should get super mad or yell at people for doing tome challenges or for doing fun, you know, variety sort of meme builds, because that's how the game stays fresh. That's how people don't get burnt out on the game, by doing different things, by trying different things, by doing other challenges. And I'm not saying that we should focus that negative energy on the people who disconnect or give up early in the match, because like I said, I know from that point of view that that happens. You know, we all have been there. But on the flip side, we should appreciate the people who are doing challenges and meme builds a little more, because at least they're staying in the match. But yeah, that's about it. I just saw that silly comment that I showed you in the beginning, and it kind of made me want to talk about this a little bit more. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know what your thoughts are about bad teammates, what your definition of a bad teammate is, and also, have your teammates been disconnecting a lot lately or giving up on hook lately? Because in my opinion, I've been seeing it a lot, especially as killer as well. No matter what killer I'm playing, I just noticed that people are just giving up really fast, and I'm just giving a lot of survivors hatch because of it, because I feel bad. I'm like, well, your teammates gave up at 5 gens. Like, I can't just, I feel bad just killing everybody, so I usually give 1 hatch. But anyway, yeah, that's about it for this one. Love you guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.